You're probably asking yourself, how can I know if the material I'm working with contains asbestos? Well, this video is going to give you the answer. Hi, I'm Jess Scott at Oracle Asbestos, and I'm going to answer the question, how can I know if the material I'm working with contains asbestos? When it comes to asbestos, we're talking about materials that were once widely used in construction for their affordability, their strength and their fire resistance. These materials include things like roofing tiles, cement guttering, insulation boards, floor tiles, ceiling tiles. The list just goes on and on. There are many thousands of products that contain asbestos. They were used a lot from the 1950s to the 1980s, and indeed right up until asbestos was finally banned in the UK at the very end of 1999, which is why you will hear people say that asbestos is commonly found in buildings built before the year 2000. Now, if these materials are in a good condition and they're left alone, they generally don't pose much of a risk. But if they get disturbed or start to break down, they can release asbestos fibre into the air. These fibres generally are so small that you can't see them, but if you breathe them in, they can cause serious health problems later in life. So how can you tell if something contains asbestos? Well, there are a few things to look out for. First, consider the appearance. Asbestos comes in different types and each has its own colour. For example, chrysidolite, or better known as blue asbestos, is blue. You've got chrysotile, which is better known as white asbestos because it's white, and you've got amosite, which is better known as brown asbestos because it's brown. But remember, you can't rely on colour alone to identify asbestos. Texture is another clue. Asbestos materials often have a dimpled or a swirl pattern to the surface due to manufacturing, while newer materials without asbestos tend to be smoother. Age matters too. If something was made before the year 2000, especially if it's from 1950s to 1980s, there's a higher chance it contains asbestos. However, visual identification has its limits and it can be risky. So if you suspect something contains asbestos, it's best just to get it tested, and make sure you get it tested by professionals. They'll take a sample, they'll send it to a lab for analysis, and they'll confirm whether it contains asbestos. Now, finding asbestos can be worrying, but it's important to act quickly and responsibly. If you suspect asbestos, here's what you should do. First, stop any work in the area immediately. Avoid disturbing the material. If you have disturbed it, avoid disturbing it any further. Keep people away from the area. If necessary, you can seal the area off, and you can also warn people by putting up signs. Report the issue to whoever's in charge so that they can take appropriate action. Then, once you've done all of this, arrange for a sample to be taken and tested by professionals to confirm whether it contains asbestos or not. If asbestos is found, you'll need to get advice from an asbestos professional on how to manage or remove it safely. Also, remember training. Training can really help you to identify potential asbestos containing materials. Asbestos awareness training is the basic level of asbestos training. It's for anyone who might come across asbestos while they work, people like construction workers, plumbers or electricians. This training really helps them to recognise asbestos and know how to work safely around it if they come across it or they suspect they come across it. So even if you're not directly handling asbestos, asbestos awareness training is still important. It helps keep you and others safe by knowing what to look out for and how to deal with asbestos if you come across it. In conclusion, knowing a bit about asbestos can make a very big difference in keeping you and others safe and complying with the regulations. If you suspect asbestos in your building or in a material you're working on, get it tested by professionals and take appropriate action. Make sure you and your team have the right training to work safely around asbestos. This video has given you an intro into how you can know if the material you're working with contains asbestos. Further information can be found in the accompanying article on our website, and if you would like even more information on this or any other asbestos subject, contact a member of the Oracle team and they really will be happy to help. Again, you can find our details on the website www.oracleasbestos.com. Thank you.